Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Dire team pick.
Ancient apparition.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Sand King.
Radiant team pick.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to StarLadder Season 9 coverage. We got EU coming up. 5 good games today.
Yeah, this one, not the two biggest names here in terms of their performance so far. This match is going to be Insane versus Next.kz, and, well, as you can see it on the standings, these teams are not They have not been giving us their A game so far.
Yeah, and let's
5
see
seconds
here.
remaining.
Q Insane, where are they sitting in the
All the way at
brackets?
the bottom. Direct your eyes to the bottom right corner.
So that would be 0 and 5, and then we've got Next.kz, or Next League, is they're tagged up here, and they are 1 and 4, sitting in the 12th position. So, yeah.
I mean, there's some
Lower end.
There's some solid players on both of these teams. Like, if you go back to Next.kz, even as long ago as the TI2 qualifiers, they almost qualified for TI2. They got to the, I think it was, oh god, was it the, I think it was the grand finals, or maybe it was the loser
10
bracket finals. They were like
remaining.
one series away from making it to TI2. It's mostly the same players
5
too. You've got
seconds
Mantis,
remaining.
Equal, who I know have been on the team since then. I think Reeves and
Reserve
Wadafaka are
time.
more recent additions, but they've got, this team has had big
Dire
results in the
team
past.
back.
For me, it's a little disappointing to see them underperforming lately.
Yeah, and Insane actually have a stand-in today as well. They're going to have Tron with them in the stead of...
Judo's in here.
no, he's actually,
Radiant
he's tagged up as a
team
stand-in,
back.
but he's in the official roster.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if he's
Dire
actually a
team back.
stand-in or not.
I don't know.
But yeah, T-Po, I think that's Tron in Russian.
Okay.
So,
yeah, someone
same-
told me that as well, I remember.
Yeah, so it's same thing. So let's take a look at the draft here. And there we are. I'm getting better at this, by the way. I've gotten...
I'm still awful
10
at it.
seconds
I'll watch and learn. I'll
50-50
taking notes
crapshoot.
from you, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm finally...
5
Ooh, it
seconds
only took
remaining.
today, what is it, day 15 here? I got it right.
The
but-
season's almost over. Like, finally, we know how to use the overlay now.
Reserve
Great.
time.
Oh, boy. So we've got Ancient Apparition and Lycan first picked here for Q Insane.
10
Sand
seconds
King Ember
remaining.
Spirit for Next.kz. So Ember Spirit, he is still hot
5
right now, but I
seconds
want your
remaining.
thoughts on Lycan LT. How do you feel about that hero right now?
You just have to find a good way to lane the hero. That's really always the question with Lycan. In
Radiant
theory, he
team
still adds a
back.
lot to your other lanes, especially if you take the value point in Howl, which some players do. Some players just max the wolves and
Radiant
take the
team
passive,
pick.
especially if they rotate into the jungle early. But Howl makes your other lanes a lot stronger, right? So if you can get away with running someone who's maybe a little bit weaker in a 1v1 mid or in the off lane, and they can get some last hits they otherwise wouldn't. Like if, I don't know, if they have like a really strong laner mid like an OD, it can help compensate for that a little bit. But at the same time, in the lane, his presence isn't always the greatest. He does offer you a lot of damage, but he also doesn't have a stun. He doesn't really have a whole lot of crowd control
10
early on. You
seconds
can try and block
remaining.
people with wolves, but so I think he's
That's almost the
he's,
crowd
he's very strong
5
just
seconds
situationally,
remaining.
and there are ways to punish him, especially in the laning stage.
Yeah, and I think he pairs particularly well with Ancient Apparition. We've seen that potent
Dire
combo
team
of Howl
pick.
mixed with Chilling Touch, and in those early levels, you can get pretty darn aggressive. So we'll see how they want to lane it. We've seen a Lycan, Ancient Apparition kind of X tri-lane, whether it's a Crystal Maiden or someone else with a little bit of burst damage. If it's someone else with a slow as well and you can get those right clicks in, you can actually have a scary tri-lane on your hands, even though Lycan isn't really traditionally a scary tri-lane hero.
Yeah, even like a Rubik is very good here. Good against
10
Sand King, you can
seconds
still Burrow
remaining.
Strike fairly easily. Bane, as long as you don't steal Nightmare End, you're
5
pretty happy.
seconds
But
remaining.
probably the worst spell in the game to actually steal. But basically a support that just has some sort of slower lockdown, if you want to go for that. But they
Radiant
want to go a
team
different
pick.
direction here.
Wow.
A little, kind of a rat Dota pick with this Keeper of the Light.
Yeah, and I'm curious if they're actually going to tri-lane this or if they have something else up their sleeve. It's been a while since I've seen a Coddle pick, actually. He's really fallen off in popularity. Think of him as traditionally a space creator, that classic Coddle PL lane, just making space, but he is rather versatile.
I think the cool thing here is just the
10
idea of
seconds
Coddle
remaining.
and Glycan working together. Basically, Lycan can push really fast. Ancient
5
Apparition and Keeper of the
seconds
Light. These two
remaining.
heroes combined are very difficult to push into. You're talking about pushing into an Ice Blast, and then there's
Reserve
a
time.
huge amount of AoE damage. At the same time, though, these are pretty defenseless support. So it seems like Insane Gaming want to just spread the map, let the Lycan push out the lanes, and then they can pull them back in. They're on the Dire side, sneak a Roche while after pushing top, drawing the enemy team over there. So there's some cute ways you can use that. And, well,
It
did they
looks
actually
like-
mean to pick it?
Perhaps not. It looks like we'll have a remake. They were speaking in Russian, so I'm not sure exactly what.
Well, I guess maybe the Keeper of the Light wasn't intended.
Yeah, okay, so maybe we'll hold that thought on some of some of that analysis here. All right, let's see if we can get...
Yeah, it looks like they already remade the game. so.
Okay. Oops, jeez.
Oh, for
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Tegna.
Dire team pick. Ten. Radiant team.
I don't know if the photo sport best, but just the concept was pretty cool.
Just the
Anyway.
idea coming up, being like, hey, do you want to sign this picture of your face on one of Shonego's?
As long as it's not permanent.
Yeah.
Dire team
That
back.
was cool. Did they have one of me?
I can't remember.
Jeez.
It was
cold, man.
It was dark in there.
That's a no. It's a fucking no.
I don't think so, but I can't remember. Some of the other ones, I wasn't sure exactly what they were. Mine was at least like I could
10
figure out like,
seconds
oh, it's me. He was like, you're the witch doctor. I'm like, oh, okay, I see it. And the Zeus was obvious. The other ones
5
were.
seconds
One of them was
remaining.
just a BTS logo. Not all of them were. Maybe you were just the BTS logo.
I'm just the logo. All right. I don't know, man.
You're the
Team
heart of BTS LD, so that's like
Or something.
very fitting, or something
Radiant
like that.
team pick.
So we're back in the draft here, and
No,
oh
we're
my
still
God.
we're in jail.
We're in jail.
Dire team pick.
Production value, here we go. So it looks like the picks will continue on pretty
Dire
similarly.
team
The I don't know when things went awry or which pick went wrong. Maybe it was just the coddle,
I'm
but
pretty sure it was the coddle.
everything else looking pretty straightforward though. Same as it was.
Dire
Ancient
team
Apparition Light
ban.
for Q Insane and Ember Spirit Sand King. I always want to say Q Pad. I still have the Q Pad Red Pandas every time I start off with Q.
Just the letter Q.
Yeah, just like Q Insane. I'm just used to saying Q
10
Pad
seconds
Red
remaining.
Pandas. That's the only other Q team I've ever casted, I guess. It's not a very common
5
letter to
seconds
No, it's definitely
start
remaining.
off a team.
Well, that was an ill-fated
Radiant
team.
team
Yeah.
ban.
Yeah. Yeesh.
Yeah.
Well, that did not work. That experiment was not very
Radiant
successful,
team pick.
but some of the players have achieved success since then.
So I'm also curious, just comparing the StarLadder overlay to who's actually in this game. Equal is not on the list of the official roster, nor is DRMMMU.
That might just.
Are those the regular players tagged up differently? I'm having
Well,
trouble.
Equal was a Next.kz even 2 years ago, so I don't know if he
10
left the team or
seconds
rejoined, or if one of these are
remaining.
just alternate names for him, to be honest. But
Okay.
yeah, he's
5
been a
seconds
stalwart for the team
remaining.
for a long time. Reeves has also been with the team for a pretty long time at this point, at least a year and a
Reserve
half, I want to
time.
say.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Dota Cinema Reeves.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we're gonna find out which pick was not meant to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it wasn't the Coddle. It's Next.kz or... Well, see, it's just weird because the Coddle was... the Coddle was the most recent pick, so it'd be pretty shisty of Next.kz to be like, oh, we didn't mean to pick that after their opponents picked Coddle.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure.
Every time I see, well, they're now the Insane Gaming. Basically, any team with Ink Visitor, Chomi, Big Num, I think Doombringer. That's a hero that they've loved to run in the past. Ink Visitor in particular, I know that's one of his favorite heroes. And they haven't been running it as much in this season of StarLadder. I remember StarLadder Season 8. It was not even really working for them that well. It was definitely a 50-50. Sometimes they would steamroll with Doom, other times they would just get steamrolled and
Were they
get
one of
run
the
over.
teams running a lot of Storm as well, or just the Doom kind of on his own?
If I recall correctly, they did some Storm. Storm was kind of mixed in sometimes. There was a sprinkle of Storm, but
Sprinkle of
Doom was, if it wasn't first ban, every game, first pick, not a care in the world.
I like Doom.
Yeah. So,
Doom's pretty damn good against Lycan as well, if you can Doom him before he gets off the ult. So
yeah. So, all right, there we go. It will be
Radiant
Bane
team
paired with the Ancient Apparition this time, and Next.kz will grab themselves the Shadow Shaman.
So, Next.kz have a lot of crowd control, and this is exactly what you want for Lycan. You don't want the hero to just be able to run free and munch on your support, so 1, 2, 3, 4 disables already. The Epicenter slow not very relevant here, but, well, the Hex only sometimes relevant. If he gets off his ult first, then he still runs at max move speed.
Yeah, so
10
at least it stops him
seconds
from
remaining.
biting you.
Supports are, yeah. Their
5
supports are
seconds
pretty
remaining.
passive, though. Sand King and Shadow Shaman. Sand King's an okay roamer, but most likely they're going to be
time.
focused on just kind of farming in the woods, Sandstorm, trying to get him a fast blink, and they'll need levels on the Shadow Shaman, so...
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Insane, they already picked Lycan, who, I mean, we've seen teams once in a while try to run a mid. I know Liquid tried to run him off lane a long time ago once. It didn't work that well. But pretty much you know he's going to be safe lane. And they'll make up for their slightly weaker laning supports with a Gyro. So if Insane were thinking about going aggressive, which a team with Bane and Ancient Apparition often would, probably not going to happen now.
Yeah, going aggressive with Lycan is usually not an ideal scenario as well.
No, the ideal scenario would be if you could run him like safe lane 1v1, but that only works against like a very few heroes. So yeah, with the Lycan, they probably couldn't do it anyway.
Yeah, and it's always interesting to see how different teams run Ember
10
Spirit. Some teams
seconds
really like
remaining.
him solo mid, other teams prefer him in more of a safe lane role. And we've even seen some
5
teams
seconds
pretty comfortable with
remaining.
Ember Spirit in the off lane.
Really?
Yeah, not very often. I think we saw it yesterday. It was like a duo lane
Reserve
off lane.
time.
It didn't work
Okay.
very well, but they gave it a try.
That
So-
hero needs a lot of levels and a decent amount of farm. I'd say the levels are a bit more important, but he needs both, so that's where like mid generally is kind of the ideal scenario for him.
Yeah, that's where I've seen him shine the most, and I think Arteezy has played the most impressive Ember Spirit that I've seen. He's such a bully in lane when
Really?
he's solo mid. Oh yeah, he's
What build does he go for? The max flame guard?
No, he goes the opposite. No flame guard.
The Sing Sing build, where you
No.
get the searing chains and the sleight of fist or sleight of fist max.
Yeah, I think he levels up the searing. Like level 3, he'll go level 2 searing chain. So he'll just hop in, connect with the bolas, and he just harasses people out of lane.
That is really strong if you have good roaming supports, which
Yeah.
actually Next.kz kind of do with Sandcade. So it's where if Saint Gaming, you may want to pick a more elusive solo mid. Sure, the Shadow Shaman's not a very good roamer, but if they're not going aggressive, then the Sand King and Shadow Shaman will be free to roam. They won't have to worry about defending gyros, so that's where you want more of a durable solo mid,
Yeah. And
if you're Cyber Gaming, or Insane Gaming.
yeah, as Merlini and I have been talking about, the question is who actually can stand up against the Ember Spirit. So far, we haven't seen anybody that can. I mean, he's a very high skill cap hero, so there are some people that can get out skilled if they're not quite as experienced with the Ember Spirit, but we have really yet to see Arteezy get shut down in the mid lane.
What heroes has he played
Radiant
against so
team
far?
ban.
Oh god.
I think Puck's a pretty good
Dire
choice against
team
Ember as
ban.
well.
Puck isn't bad. It's
You can phase shift dodge his sleight of
Yeah,
fist,
it's
searing
a-
chains combo.
it ends
the
up being
silence
kind
is
of a skill lane. Yeah.
The silence is also really important because if Ember's, I'd say, weakest against silences early to mid game. Sure, maybe late game you build a
10
BKB, but it's
seconds
normally not
remaining.
until your third or fourth item. You want to get like the Arcane Boots, Desolator,
Radiant team
or you know
pick.
some players like Battle Fury. Although I think it's less and less common nowadays. I know Havosta's tried Maelstrom, but it's not a BKB first carry, so that's where Puck is really
Dire
strong.
team
Yeah, that's true. The hard part in lane is just the range on Sleight of Fist. How far back he can sit and still harass, and that's where that phase shift comes in. If you can phase shift it, you're in good shape. If not, you're going to be having a bad time.
Yeah, it is a bit difficult though because the order that the creeps get hit from the sleight of fist, it depends on like which way you're facing and like the angle you have towards them. But it's pretty much it's not technically random, but it basically is random. Like you can't really
10
tell which one it's going to hit
seconds
first.
Yeah.
So
Well, Centaur will be the final choice for
5
Next.kz. It
seconds
looks like
remaining.
he will be slated for a solo role, probably.
I
in the
see what you
offlane.
did there. Slated for a
Reserve
solo.
time.
Nicely done.
Probably in the offlane. Ember Spirit looking like their mid hero, and then the defensive tri lane, probably safe lane. I don't think they'll aggro try, but you never know. Gyrocopter, Shadow Shaman, and Sand King. An interesting buff. Centaur, this is kind of the only position I think Centaur shines at. If he can get a 1v1 match on offlane, I think it's
Actually, isn't even against the duel or tri-lane, generally, because generally Centaurs will take return it. Makes it very hard for supports to harass him, because you hit him, you start losing a bunch of HP as well.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to harass him, which means then he gets into the lane and gets experience. But this game he's up against Ancient Apparition, and Ancient Apparition crushes Centaur, because all you do is you use Chilling Touch, you start right-clicking him, and you don't even care about return damage. You just do so much more.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they have Bane, and Bane, like in this tri-lane for Insane, assuming they go defensive, they can actually
Prepare
kill
for battle.
Centaur. They have enough damage, they've got the lockdown, so offlane Centaur, sometimes very resistant to harass, but this is a game where he'll need to be quite careful.
Yep, he's kind of a strange hero right now in our current meta, and it's like he's not bad, but I struggle to see where he fits in some games. Some teams sort of try to throw him in willy-nilly, and we'll see how it works for Next.kz here. They will start with a 5-man train through the Radiant jungle. It looks like they do want to keep their pole camp safe, and well, you and Insane won't even go for it. They will have Nyx in the off lane. And he does have a ward, and uh-oh, he almost walks into trouble. He'll go ahead and throw it down right here, kind of that entryway into the jungle. Won't be too concerned with blocking camps, just looking for some intel, and uh-oh, he's going to get counter-warded straight away. Q Insane not off to a good start here,
30
LD.
seconds.
Well played.
Well played, indeed. Easy. Well, there we go. So on the Radiant side, I guess, we can introduce Next.kz. We've got Drumu playing the offlane Centaur, who could have a very tough game. Solo mid will be What a Fucka. What a name that is on the solo mid Ember. I am very curious to see his build if he goes for a similar skill build as our... Oh boy.
That was a little louder than intended.
Our speakers are like blasting right now at the studio.
The
But yeah,
battle
Mantis, your
begins.
safe lane gyrocopter. Longtime carry player for this team. Equal the support Shadow Shaman, and top lane there will be a double damager and picked up by Drumu. But this will mostly expire by the time he gets to lane anyway. And Reeves will be playing that support Sand King. Oh, and if I didn't mention Equal on the Shadow Shaman.
Yep. And on the Dire side,
And they're already smoked up actually.
we've got Team Q Insane, and yeah, that will be Inquisitor on the Bane, who is smoked up alongside Judo. On the Ancient Apparition, uh-oh, is that us, or is that... Looks like the server.
Snatched from your
Oh
grasp.
boy. Might just be our connection to it.
Yeah, alright. And it looks like What a Fuck It will be in some trouble to get things started. Nightmare. There's the Chilling Touch, and a few more right clicks. See ya! That
Oh
is the
my
first
god,
round.
that's so much damage. And this is where Ember Spirit has 1 armor, is Rushing Bottle, doesn't have Orly Stout Shield, which is the standard Ember build, but yeah, very, very easily brought down early game. He's quite squishy, so I think this is the best way to deal with Ember. You want to pick a strong 1v1 hero who can take him. Puck certainly can. And when you give him the first blood like that, it'll get a lot easier. So good start for them. And they could go top and potentially kill the Centaur, although right now he's got an Observer, so he'll see everything they're doing. And they're going to miss on their first Sentry Ward here. So he's still going to have vision.
Yeah. So, well, not a bad way to get the ball rolling to try and shut down the Ember. That was that Howl mixed with Chilling Touch. Oh boy. So, let's finish introducing this roster here. We've got Q Insane on the Dire side. Big Num will be in the safe lane light and just farming away up top. We've already seen these two supports have a pretty big impact. Judo and Ink. In the mid, it is Chumi playing on Puck, and in the off lane, we've got Tron, aka Chapeau. He's tagged up as a stand-in, even though he's part of the official roster. He's playing the Assassin here in the off lane.
Yes, Nyx is going to try and just leech experience from the low ground, and they are doing doubles, so he'll get some. He's also checking the 2-minute rune, so kind of convenient for him. Centaur's going for the 2-minute rune as well, but uh-oh, Inquisitor's here with the sleep. I don't know if they can kill him, though.
Yeah.
No, they're not going to bother.
There will be an AA considering rotating, but no, won't be able to get there in time. Set it up, and Centaur is just a whole other beast. He is much tankier than the Ember Spirit in the early levels, so it won't be quite as easy to right-click him down.
Yeah, don't underestimate Chilling Touch, though. They can definitely kill him, especially if he gets caught near the wave, and Lycan uses Howl, which he did take an early point in. So, yeah, this tri-lane is still very scary.
Yep.
Also, Nyx got an Invisor in bottom, and he's using it to leech a lot of pull experience, so pretty big win here for Tipo.
He's doing pretty well. Didn't get too much from this Ogre camp, as none of them actually didn't get anything from that Ogre camp, as none of them died. Still sitting level 1, but he's doing a good job moving around and mostly avoiding death, as every good offlaner should. Up top, Big Num as well as Drumu are going blow for blow, and he wants to try and commit to this Lycan. I'm not
don't
sure
know
if this
about
is going to
this.
work out for him. Yeah, Salve comes out for Big Num, and Judo, now he's actually taking some damage. This Centaur is scary, and he picks up a kill on the Ancient Apparition with that double edge. Now they're looking for a counter kill here, and they will find it. Bane comes in with a brain sap, and they will make it a 1-for-1. A pretty solid exchange for Q Insane. Ancient Apparition for the Centaur.
Next.kz actually dropped another sentry bottom. They were trying to find the Nyx while this was going on, because they know I guess they made the Invisor in, but not. No, I think he actually body blocked a camp, so they thought one of camps got warded, but indeed not the case. And so, well, Nyx is doing okay in the off lane, but not as well as the Centaur. Already level 4, gets us kill on the support, or actually on the Lycan, and oh, no, sorry, it was the Ancient Apparition, and is getting just a lot of experience, whereas the Nyx is mostly being shut down by the triple pull.
Yeah, Nyx is still level 1, or pardon me, he just now hit level 2, but only 1 creep kill under his belt. He is definitely struggling a bit. In the mid lane, it looks like Ink Visitor considering making another rotation towards Whatafucka, standing on the high ground. This is going to be a difficult gank without the Ancient Apparition, though. And Ember Spirit, he is going that 0 Flame Guard build, so very aggressive, 2-3-0 at level 5. And in terms of last hits, Puck's still getting the better of him. 24-7 versus the 13-1 Whatafucka. Well, maybe this is a way to get some momentum over the Ember Spirit. Just shut him down and grab a first blood, and that really makes Puck's life a lot easier. Has bottle and boots up. Ember Spirit still without boots. There you go. He'll pick him up right now, but Puck's already found an advantage with that movement.
Yeah, you can see Drumu is playing the offlane Centaur a lot like how Ice 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 does for DK, where you just kind of spam your double edge. You max it early on, and just every time that the enemy hero comes in lane, you have such high strength that you can get away with spamming it and still trade pretty favorably, even against Lycan, who's got 777 health. Still, the Centaur's got 900 nearly, so yeah, effective trading. And once you get Tranquil Boots, you just double edge, you back off, you let the Tranquils regen you up, and you slowly drive them out of the lane. But at the same time, Lycan's gonna have a Vlad soon, so it's not the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah, aside from that, a fairly quiet early game here. 2-1 at the 5-minute mark, down the bottom. Will be in a little bit of trouble. Mantis with the Rocket Barrage will proc a spiked Carapace, but no kill will come out of it. Tron will be able to waddle back safely to his tier 1 tower. Phase Boot's already up on the Gyrocopter, who is also just about to hit level 6. In terms of last hits, he is dead even with the Lycan. They're both just a couple shy of that 30 last hit mark, and there's your Morbid Mask. So Vlad's first on the Lycan, no big surprise there, LD.
Yeah, the Lycan, once he gets Vlad's, normally you'll see a support kind of take over the lane. He can go woods, he can also rotate towards Roche at level 7, and that's one of the benefits of the heroes, just that he can make your overall team laning more efficient. Kind of like running a jungler, you just don't do it from the start. Ink Visitor is rotating bottom while this is happening, and for Insane right now, I think they want to be contesting these stacks. Sand King just hit level 2, and they spotted this out earlier. The Nyx saw them stacking a bunch of camps, so ideally they'd like the Puck to just hit level 7, start ganking those creeps, because right now Sand King's level 2. He's very underleveled, but if they clear off these stacks with Gyro and Sand King, then suddenly he'll be caught up and maybe even well on his way to his Blink Dagger.
Yeah, that's true, and that's one of the things about Sand King. He can kill stacks, complemented that Sandstorm. It takes him a while, but he can do it to get some of that. A big burst of...
That hero's just so much more viable now, in general, because Blink doesn't cost any mana, so you can rush it. As we do see a TP out from the Ember, he's just going to go base and then come back to his Spirit. But yeah, you don't. It doesn't cost mana, so you can rush the Blink Dagger, and he can jungle a lot more efficiently. Because the AoE on Sandstorm is 550 at all levels. So he's a much more viable support nowadays.
Look how much damage that does to the Puck. One rotation takes him down to half health. He does have a double damage rune on as well as Hal, so Puck hitting very hard right now, about 170 a pop. Still, Whatafucka will come.
They have ult here. They might be able to kill him with this. Oh, he's going to Spirit out.
If he had connected with Bolas there, Shomi could have been in a little bit of trouble perhaps. He would have been forced to phase shift, but so much damage.
As much as Ember, he's a glass cannon though. You look at his base armor, he's still got 3 armor and 800 health. Pucks and Bane have a ton of nuke damage, and when you go this build, you don't actually have guard, so you're much more vulnerable to beam burst down.
Yeah, especially against all that magic damage.
And even pure damage in the case of the Bane. So, your Lycan's actually leveling up Hal. Normally you'll see the Wolves get max, but this is an interesting adjustment in build. Seems like they just want to help the Puck be a bit stronger in the solo mid roll, and I think he needs the help against the spam of Sleight of Fist. So we'll have to see how it works out though, because this will slightly delay any ability to do Roche, and the Lycan's jungle will be slower with this build compared to if he just maxed Wolves and took more points in the passive early on.
Yeah, more commonly we've seen Hal level 1, and then it's just that value point that they hang on to until the later levels, around 9. 8 or 9 or so is when they start leveling it up even more. So it's a nice change of pace, but like you said, it will slow down Lycan. Just a pinch though. He's doing just fine. He is sitting level 7. He's now moved into the jungle, so that'll make the entire team efficiency a little bit better for Q Insane, clearing out some of those jungle creeps. Nyx will now take over the mid lane. as Puck is roaming about, continuing to control runes and actually bottle crawling a little bit here. Also a smoke in the inventory of the Puck. And speak of the devil, we'll go ahead and use it. Looks like Shomi wants to make a rotation down bottom perhaps and try and set up a kill onto this gyrocopter.
FaZe Bessie, nothing else yet. Hasn't bought Ogre Club or drums. He is very squishy, so if he gets caught, he's definitely dead.
Yeah, supports aren't really inbound either.
And they're being greedy in the woods. Just this is where you run Sand King, very strong farming support, but can be punished by rotations like this.
Yep. And here you go, Nightmare to set it up. There's the orb. Waning Rift, this will be an easy kill coming out to the dire side. Gyro takes a spill, but he spent basically all of his gold before he went down, so not the worst thing in the world.
At the same time, they get the kill, but just look at the Sand King. He just cleared out a triple stack. He's going to hit level 4, and they do it one more time with like this stack over here, and they'll be mostly caught up in terms of support levels. Definitely a good kill on Gyro. But Next.kz can win in terms of a far more, just their supports are more efficient, mainly because of the Sand King pick, and Gyro is good at clearing the stacks too. So I like the rotation from Insane, just want to keep it up every time the Puck's hold is up.
Yeah, and this is just easy peasy for the Sand King here. It's amazing how easily you can kill creeps with this.
He was level 1 when the enemy supports were level 3, and he's already almost caught up.
Yeah, pretty insane, not a bad strategy. There will be more rotations coming out. Equal will actually rotate to the mid on the Shadow Shaman and grab some experience. So him and Nyx are both a little bit under-leveled here, both of them trying to grab their level 6 as well. Vendetta coming out, just a couple of creeps.
Centaur on top.
Yep. Oh, there we go. Stampede forward, looking for Judo, but actually won't find it. Now Lycan pops the shapeshift, and perhaps looking to chase him down, but won't dive the tower.
I don't know what the Lycan's plan there was. Maybe he thought the Centaur was going to commit to a kill, but he just got baited into wasting his ult, which has a pretty long cooldown early on. Oh, top rune. The Puck will just jaunt away.
Well, Ember Spirit now level 8. He does have his phase boots complete, an empty bottle right now, but going back to farming, he's still pretty lackluster. Puck's sitting around the 4K mark in net worth, and Whatafaka only at about 2.7, so he's still struggling quite a bit in farm.
The Sand King is smoked up as well. It looks like they want to kill the Lycan, but he's not showing himself just yet.
And oh yeah, there's that Sand King, and there's Equal as well, so this could be pretty surprising for Q Insane, but they won't move into lane. Big Num has skated out with Wolves.
And they know his ult's on cool because he just wasted it, so this is a much easier kill than it normally would be.
Yep. Wolves are such a valuable scouting tool, though. Unfortunately, they'll fall before they get much intel about where these supports are. Lycan will luck out a little bit here as they won't move into this easy camp and try and pick him off. He'll go ahead and scout it out with the Wolves. He sees Reeves, and now feels a little bit more safe as he has that valuable scouting information. That's part of the problem with Lycan as well in terms of his power right now, is how easy it is to scout with the Wolves.
Yeah, and the Wolves also just don't die. If they ever get low, you just back them off. They have that ridiculous 15 HP a second regen, I believe it is, and yeah, they heal up very quickly. So he's scouting someone in the woods now. They just use Ancient Apparition ult, though. I don't think they can kill Reeves, but maybe they can steal some of these creeps. Yeah, that would be pretty shiesty. I would like to see Insane try and set up some sort of a gank either mid or bottom, and then transition into a tower push or a Roshan attempt off of that, because that's really where they're strongest. Sand King's Blink is coming fairly soon, and oh, bottom lane.
Yep, Mantis could be in some trouble here. Nyx is Vendetta up. He does connect with the backstab and Pale on the mark, but the follow-up isn't there. AA ultimate will actually connect, but just damage to cause him to shatter.
Yeah, if Bane left the lane, he would have just backed, and he didn't have a smoke there, so they kind of just couldn't kill him.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Still, if they harass him back, they force him to walk back to the well. So not only is Gyro not farming, but Bane will continue to free farm for now, and most importantly get that valuable experience. He is just about to hit level 7. Double damage rune picked up here at the 12-minute mark for Whatafaka on that Ember Spirit. Always a scary rune to have in the hands of that hero.
I am a little curious to see what the Lycan goes for this game. Looking at Big Num, he actually goes Treads, but this feels like a mandatory BKB game. Every single hero is very scary on Next.kz in terms of magic damage. He's going to go towards the Roche Pit with his Wolves, just scouting, and, well, Whatafaka just drops a Remnant here, so going to be hard to sneak a Roche against them, and the Wolves are giving good intel. Do they actually look to go on this? They don't have the Puck Blink Dagger yet. Actually, only 300 short. If they can find where these supports are and they see they're not bottom, it'll be a very easy kill, and speaking of which...
And Reeves, yeah, he'll get backstab from the Vendetta and Pale Orb. Easy peasy, they'll pick a kill on the Sand King.
Mid lane, they're trying to dive here. Oh, they go in with the Sleight of Fist. I think it's too far to dive, though.
Yeah, they really want to make use of this double damage rune, still sitting in the bottle of Whatafaka, but there's a rotation from Big Num. Inquisitor's here as well. He has Fiend's Grip available, and that'll be enough for Next.kz just to back out. And that kill will secure the Blink Dagger for Puck.
It's a big deal. Also, Ancient Apparitional is back in line. T-Po's going to have his ult in 20 seconds. All Insane really needs is one more good fight, get some kills, take the tower mid, and then they can go Roche. And with Next.kz having 2 heroes top, if they show anybody.
There's the Speedster motherfucker. Another easy kill coming out for Q Insane. Some serious momentum for our Dire side, now leading 5-1 at the 13.5-minute mark.
Yeah, this is going to be their first win. They're 0-5, but they're playing well so far. In terms of gold, they're a little bit ahead. Experience goes slightly the way of Next.kz. Next.kz also have ward, not dropping them top yet, though. Maybe they want to try and force a tier 2 or at least some teleports back. And looks like Insane, even with the Lycan, they can't push as fast as Next.kz.
Yeah, they will clear out this tower without.
Let's see if Lycan is roaching now.
It'll be a little bit difficult for him. No medallion can still do it. It's just a matter of the timing. So hopefully he doesn't get scattered here. Definitely a bit more risky.
Oh, he is going to get scattered though. And even though his team's here, he's got to be careful about Ember just jumping in and snatching the Aegis, which he can certainly do with a Remnant.
And there's that first Remnant. The team is around.
Where did it go? It like disappeared.
No, it's probably just a graphics bug. I see it right there in the middle of the
Oh, okay. I'm just blind. It's like in the wrong spot.
So if they want to contest this, Roche is getting very low. He will fall, and it hops in. It's picked up by the Radiant on both sides of the coin. The Aegis goes the way of Centaur. They'll grab a kill on Lycan. Puck gets cleaned up as well. Counter kill coming out on the Ember Spirit, and it looks like Reese may fall as well. There's the Mass Serpent Ward, and Equal joins the fray. Judo falls, Mantis with the call down. This is a huge contest coming out from Next.kz. They will wipe up most of Q Insane. Ink Visitor, the only one left alive, and perhaps not for long. Drumu continuing to pursue, looking for a hoof stomp. Won't have it for another few seconds. There's the Nightmare. They will back off, but wow, Next.kz get the last hit on the Radiant. They take the Aegis, not even technically a snatch. They just took it for themselves.
They got the Roche kill and the Aegis. That was outrageously risky. The Remnants give you vision. There was a Remnant in the pit. They knew they were Roching, and they just went ahead and tried to do it anyway. I don't think they knew the Centaur had gotten Blink, because I think he just picked it up right before that fight. But bottom lane, Gyro trying to TP out.
And he will die to the Puck.
He broke the coil when he TP'd back, yeah.
Oh, boy.
That's not much you can do in that situation, but
yeah,
the Remnant being in the pit, that was so risky for them. Sure, they've got an Observer Ward here, but I think the main thing was they didn't realize Centaur had Blink, because they figured, alright, it's so low, we can just finish it before he runs in. And if he didn't have Blink, they would have gotten it, but with the Blink there, it just completely changed the equation. That was a big play from Drumu,
yeah.
I don't know how to say it.
And down bottom, Tron will go ahead and engage on What a Fucka, but oh wow, he'll Remnant just in the nick of time, which will keep him alive. That Impale would have been on the mark. Shomi was inbound with an Orb and Waning Rift available. So well played by What a Fucka. Now Puck will grab this 16-minute rune, haste that gets thrown up in the bottle. So now we've got I was going to say an even game on our hands, but that kill score is a bit deceptive. Next.kz with a 3,000 gold and experience lead here.
Insane's lineup is not really built to fight without a massive item advantage. Their lineup's all about just getting pickoffs, whether it's from Fiend's Grip, the Nyx Assassin, throw the Ice Blast on top of it, and then Lycan split push, and even, bottom lane.
Yeah, we have a smoked up Centaur who blinks over. He does use the hook stomp on the Nyx, takes a Spike Carapace, but it doesn't matter. What a fuck is there with plenty of damage. Puck hops in with Orb trying to finish off the Centaur. AA will be off the mark, and Puck does get killed. Now Judo's in big trouble. Next.kz are just doing too much damage. That's a 3-for-0 here in the bottom lane.
That was a really ambitious play. They can't even get a tower trade out of this. They're running safe lane Lycan, and they have yet to take the safe lane tier 1.
And Big Num baiting out a little bit as Mantis takes a Fiend Grip to the face. Port's coming into the tower, but they're just taking too long. Fiend's Grip almost not enough, but he has the Brain Sap, and that will finish off Mantis as he starts to get away. The Port's just a bit too slow. And, well, Q Insane will find a solo kill up in the top lane, but still a 1-for-3 across the map if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah, so, I mean, basically Q Insane running the ganker lineup and just losing and getting forced into team fights, and of course losing those team fights. That's really the issue for them. They had the one good puck rotation, then sat back, waited for the Blink Dagger, and then kind of rolled the dice on the Roche attempt, where it was not a high percentage Roche by any means. There was a Remnant in the pit, and 5 enemy heroes were alive. So they just took too long to commit to it. They didn't have the medallion, and
The medallion's almost a necessity, and not just a kill rush. Obviously, Lycan can do it, just speed-wise to lower that risk. The longer you're in the pit, the risk.
It's a very cost-efficient item in general, and like the amount that it accelerates your farm, even just farming, say, ancients or bigger creeps, it's worth it because it'll make you farm that much faster, and you can just sell it later if you need to. So if he's not going for it, one of the supports should be. I think it's a core item to have on a Lycan team, but well, they're still not going for one. I guess they're just going to skip it at this point.
Yeah, Lycan will just go Vlad straight into Necro Book, and he will actually have the level 1 Necro Book complete in the safety deposit box. Still needs the courier to deliver the last pieces. There will be a kill set up here onto Mantis. No Fiend's Grip available for another 12 seconds.
They are so scared to fight right now. Next.kz have triple Blink Dagger and Gyro with the BKB coming in like 150 gold. Insane just cannot team fight. It's just not possible unless Next.kz really throw the fight.
Yeah, this is a little bit scary. Next.kz are just doing so much damage right now, and once that BKB comes out on Gyro, I'm not sure what they have to try and deal with him. He's going to be doing a lot of damage. Shomi, he'll actually get caught by Evil. There's the chicken. Burrow Strike in for Reeves, and there should be enough damage to finish off Puck. Yep, there it is. Won't even be able to hop to the orb. They'll also grab a kill on Bane in the fray.
Next.kz is triple Blink Dagger, and the Ember actually missed his initial Searing Chain Sleight of Fists. They have 4 ways to initiate. You can't stand in the trees and try and defend your tower. It's just asking to die.
Yeah, especially when there's a Shadow Shaman with a blink like that. I mean, it's so easy for him to initiate. Just turn you into a chicken. There was some space created in the top lane, though. Lycan did take out the top tier 1 tower. So.
Yeah, he's playing it correctly. He needs to be split pushing while the rest of the team either smokes and goes for ganks and pickoffs, or just straight up tower defense. But when the team feeds 2 kills, it completely negates them at least getting a tower trade.
Yeah.
Because now it's a tower trade and you gave up 2 kills, so you can guess who comes out on top there.
On bottom, Mantis might take an AA ult to the face. Oh, just barely off the mark. Nyx Assassin Vendetta up, looking for an opening, but Mantis will take good positioning in the trees by the tier 1 tower here, and won't give Nyx that easy opening.
Good map awareness. You see the HF personal fly in seemingly like out of nowhere, and you pretty much know the Nyx is hunting you, so.
Yeah, well, he saw the Nyx as well. When he came up the hill right here, Nyx stunned him, so.
Okay.
He knew Nyx was around, had already harassed him back. Very smart play, though. It's a smart play not to just head for the hills and recognize that Nyx would try and cut him off and sit somewhere around here where Nyx would have to walk through the tower to come in range and stun him. So definitely good positioning from Mantis there.
Team running Lycan still has 1 tower.
Yeah.
That's really... You run this hero to take a lot of early towers and map control off of it, and after they had the 1 good rotation from Puck early, and the smoke gank level 1 mid, and that was pretty much it. They didn't really make many other efforts to gank. They waited for the Puck blink, but it's where you look back on it and say, maybe they should have just tried smoke ganks more. They have Bane and Chaperson, a lot of good damage, and well, both teams are on the prowl here. Next.kz, 4 heroes bottom.
And they're smoked up, hungry for blood, and this really is the game of blinks. There are now 5 blink daggers out on the field, 3 on the side of Next.kz, and Nyx Assassin will be the last one to join the party on the side of Hugh Insane. Him and Puck, the 2 blink carriers. So plenty of initiation across the board. We'll see if Next.kz can catch someone off guard. And it's not looking like it.
Look at these aggressive wards. They are going to find somebody in a second here.
Joe. Wrong hits at the wrong time. He'll get dropped in a matter of seconds. Not even enough time to react. They will find a kill on the support. But you're right about these wards. Radiant outside of Roche, right here in the mid lane.
Dire's bottom tower
front of the tier
is under
2. And they've
attack.
got one here as well, kind of on the other side of this medium camp.
Radiant's middle tower
So
is
they've
under
got a lot of
attack.
intel just about the map, and now they'll take a tier 2 tower down bottom with those mass serpent wards.
And they're going to try and defend mid. Centaur jumps in, tower deny.
And there's Reeves with the Burrow Strike. The tower will not get denied, but it looks like they'll grab a couple kills to make up for it. Chomi will be the first to go down. Now the Fiend's Grip comes out on Drumu. Reeves doesn't have a Burrow Strike for less than 2 seconds. He'll be forced to watch his buddy die, but now Tron takes the Burrow Strike. Nightmare comes out. Where's the support? That's a Shadow Shun. Ether Shock to finish him off. Visitor, he's in big trouble as Wadapucka joins the party. Flame Guard now level 3. Plenty of damage on the Bane. It will be a 1 for 3 and a tier 1 tower.
The places where they're choosing to try and force the issue are very dangerous places. They try to force the issue at the tier 1 still being up, and Next.kz had already taken the tier 2 bottom like a good 8-10 seconds before that. So you can pretty much expect they're all coming mid to defend / kill you. So Lycan was pushing top during that time, but Gyro pushed out the lane. They couldn't take it here. And every time they go for a tower trade, they're giving up a lot of kills. So it's not a winning recipe.
Yeah. BK now up on the gyrocopter, and there's actually a gem on the Sand King who appears to be working towards a mech, has the recipe, and...
Oh, that was actually the Centaurs, I think, and he died. Bought by the Shadow Shaman, but yeah, did get passed around a bit.
And Ember going for a BKB. He's not too far off the mark.
Ember?
Yeah, Ember.
Oh, no, he's going Battle Fury.
Pardon me, Battle Fury. That's what I... Too many B's. BF is what I was picturing in my head. Yes, Battle Fury. Oh, God.
Some item that starts with B. It's okay. That was close.
I needed more caffeine this morning, LD.
Well, you've got like you guys can't see on camera, but Andrew's got like a nice spread of drinks here before him, but he hasn't actually used any of them.
Smoothie, water, Red Bull.
They've seen this Bane in the woods.
There's the Stampede forward. The Blink forward as well. They won't be able to catch him. Good map awareness from Q Insane, recognizing that they could be under heavy assault, and they will back up to the tier 2 tower in the top lane. Avoid death for now. Bane, Arcanes, Ogre Club. But just the item progression is kind of non-existent for Q Insane right now. They haven't picked up a new item in a while. Right back to the Necro 3 that Lycan was just able to grab.
They're trying to make something happen top tier.
Ooh, maybe they can. Gyrocopter, he'll get engaged on by Big Numb. There's the Howl, Necro unit, doing some damage. But just creating space, buying time. The tier 2 tower in the mid lane falls. Now Ember Spirit joining the party. Fire Remnant forward. Searing Chains come out, and Big Numb, he will just put back to safety. Until their push gets completely repelled. Necro unit will get finished off by What a Fuck as well. A nice 200 gold bounty in his pocket. Rest of the team now joining the party. They want another kill. They'll find Chomi. He'll get turned into a chicken. Won't be able to hop to that illusory orb. Equal actually taking quite a few tower shots. He'll die to the Dire. But
well, can you say overkill? I don't know if they needed to epicenter that, but they did also lose the Shadow Shaman, but Puck died first. Yeah. Oh, actually no, he died second. So I guess he got the experience. It's still a support Shadow Shaman, not worth the trade.
Yeah. Oh, Impale off the mark from Tron down in the bottom lane. As the glyph comes out, Mantis will be able to keep this tower safe.
So you gonna blink it and try and get the last hit?
No. Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower.
So we'll deny that tower, but
and they're trying to sneak Roche again. I don't think the Lycan's been spotted, but already Next.kz are descending towards the pit.
Yeah.
It's so easy for them to scout too. With Ember, you just throw Spirit in there. I mean, when they're farming here, obviously they're capable of it, but they might not have written the time down or expected it to spawn this early because they're not actually here yet.
But there is also a pipe out now on the Centaur, Battle Fury complete on Ember, and also that Home of the Dominator now in the inventory of the Gyro. Fire Remnant in the pit, they will scout it out. Oh man, maybe they were just toying with the Lycan that whole time, or it was just convenient timing. But Roche at about 20%, they will scatter it out. Big Numb is forced back, and wow, is he going to go back in here?
Oh my god.
Here comes the Centaur. And Lycan will be forced to ult. Drops the Dream Coil. Centaur actually taking a lot of damage. Will use the pipe. Mass Serpent Wards come down. Great position. They'll be able to use those for damage on Roche, as well as heroes. Mantis in the pit, just trying to finish off Roche. Inquisitor in big trouble. They'll finally get that kill on the Centaur, but at what cost? They'll grab the Bane, and actually Sand King will get picked off as well, as will the Gyrocopter.
Puck's waiting to try and steal the Aegis from the side. I don't know if he can. Mantis has BKB here. No, he's just gonna... Wait, where'd he go? Oh.
Just beautiful placement on those wards. Shadow Shaman managed to stay alive, but they were doing damage. They helped zone people out of the pit, and then as soon as they had space, it made for a very easy Roche kill. So once again, it will be killed by the Radiant, and Aegis will go the way of Gyrocopter.
Man, to think that they were leading 5-1 and they were actually ahead in gold, even on experience.
Yeah.
But they threw this game in a hurry. That Roche fight, you go back to the original fight, it was so ill-advised. They saw the Spirit come in the pit and they kept on trying to take the Roche. Bottom lane, Judo.
Yeah, he's in big trouble. What a Fucker will find a very easy solo kill, and he'll just be able to fire Remnant back to safety. That's part of where I see Ember Spirit is just a little ridiculous. He can hop in, get an easy kill on the port, and then just scoot back to safety without a care in the world.
Morphling does the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. He can do the same thing, but Ember Spirit is a little more spammable with his escapes.
Yeah, so that is true, but...
Equal. Alright, Shadow Shaman will get picked off trying to throw some wards down here, it looks like.
He is very elusive, but Puck should be able to shut the hero down. The problem is just that they've always been on the defense of this game. But a hero like Puck, Skywrath Mage, I mean, there are definitely heroes that can deal with Ember.
You think, like, equal skill, Puck should be able to straight shut down Ember? Like, Arteezy versus Arteezy, Puck versus Ember Spirit? Do you think the Puck comes out ahead?
No, I don't think you shut him down in the lane, necessarily. It's more like in the mid-game, a good silence initiation will shut down Ember Spirit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Puck outlanes Ember that hard.
Yeah, because I definitely don't think so.
But more just, if you have the proper crowd control, mainly instant silences, you can deal with the hero in the mid-game for sure. He's still pretty squishy. Even now, He's got 1300 health and 6 armor, and that's with the drums. That's a very killable hero. Like, sure, you've got the Flame Guard, but physical damage in particular is what you want against Ember, and they have it with Lycan. There's too much crowd control next KZ. If they go on Ember, then the Sand King comes with a Blink Burrow Strike. There's also the Pipe from the Centaur to help keep him alive. There's so much crowd control that it's just difficult to kill him.
Yeah, he's definitely squishy, but getting to him is the hard part. The Fire Remnants and also just such damage he can put out in such a large area from reasonably far away with the Sleight of Fist.
They might get caught here.
Yeah.
Comes a Juro in the front lines. He's got Aegis and Eagle Song. Quite scary.
Who are they going to find? It could be Inquisitor. He is one of the nearby heroes. There's the AA ult. Will scout it out. That will stop the blink on Centaur at least to buy them some time. No one will get caught here, actually. Everybody on Insane will just back up to safety.
Meanwhile, Ember just farming the enemy ancients for the river. Yeah. The main thing that I think is really strong with Ember is the Searing Chain Sleight of Fist combo, just because you can initiate safely from ultra long range.
Yes, exactly. And then on top of that, if that wasn't low risk enough, then he has Fire Remnants he can put down to scoot back to or to scoot into, or hell, he can just use all three of them at the same time for even extra burst.
Oh, they're going to mid. Big smoke in on the Big Numb.
And there's the Centaur Stampede. Push forward, Big Numb. He is in big trouble here. Plenty of damage coming out. And yeah, they'll have the Shackle to hold him in place. Reasonably easy kill. It did take all 5 of Next.kz, but they stopped that Lycan from getting away.
Yeah, now Next.kz really strong in the 5-man clashes right now and going to be able to force one. Lycan's not split pushing. Insane will have to defend this, and I don't really see them being able to.
Yeah, this is difficult right here.
They're up against not only a big team fight lineup, but a mech and a BKB on the carry.
Yeah, at this point...
And triple blink initiation. Like, just watch out if you're Bane.
Yeah, there is an Ag Scepter up on the Ancient Apparition, so we'll be doing a bit more damage, but I'm hard pressed to believe that will be enough. Inquisitor's in big trouble. He gets hit by both called out. Gyrocopter pulls him off. Master Wards have already come down, doing some serious damage to this tier 3 time mid. And man, it's taking damage, but again, he does have the Aegis. Also a Butterfly complete, so look forward to be a little bit more aggressive here. Wards will get cleared up, but they still pull the damage of the tier 3 tower. Now fresh creep will come in there. The glyph coming out.
They do an Ags on H.I. Bridge, which is why Sand King almost died. They'll have another ult like 10 seconds, but I think they'll lose Rax by then.
Yeah, it's just not enough. At this point, it's not even about heroes as much as it is just items. They are out-leveled, they are out-farmed, and decent initiation from Puck, but there's just no damage.
Well, they do defend the base. It could be worse. I think this is where Insane, it's like all your chips are in the Ancient Apparition basket. He's got the level 2 Ice Blast with Ags. They can kill anyone, pretty much anyone who doesn't have a BKB here if they get the jump on them.
Yeah.
And if they do enough damage, they'll still shatter even through BKB. So we'll have to see if they can find some pickoffs here, but now the Desolator comes out for Ember. And granted, sure, they defended the base, but the Rax is exposed, and there's no glyph now, so... One pickoff on any hero who doesn't have buyback, that's Rax, and quite possibly game. Because bottom tier 2's down, so they can 2-Rax the enemy team pretty easily if they get a kill.
Yeah, and just looking around at other inventories here, we mentioned that Butterfly now up on Mantis, and it looks like his Aegis will probably just despawn here. He's got about 54 seconds left on it. And I'm not sure Next.kz will want to force a fight in the meantime. There's a Force Staff up on the Rasta, and like you said, Desolator now complete on the Ember Spirit.
Here comes Range Apparition ult, and it's gonna hits equal.
Actually hits 3 of them.
You only got the debuff on a couple of these heroes.
Oh, yeah. Will be enough to shatter him, but it will do a considerable amount of damage. That Ags upgrade is just so scary.
That's pretty much their best way to defend the high ground here, but even so, there's a pipe and a mech on Next.kz, so they mech up equal, and they'll go in now.
Mantis in the front line, doesn't mind taking some damage here. Has about 15 seconds left on the Aegis, but we'll just focus down the Rax. Tron around the backside on the Nyx, looking for an initiation. Perhaps, but it won't be before the racks go down. Sleight of Fist, just doing so much damage with that Desolator.
Nyx just missed its impale on the side, and, well, forces out Stampede, not too bad.
Alright, range racks have gone down, melee racks will now be the target. That's another wave of Priest moving in the base. You can see how far back Q and Sane are. They're looking for some way to initiate this, to either Bane in position or find somebody from Next.kz too far forward, but they're struggling to find a keen initiation.
They can just slow roll it, though. I mean, like what they're doing, just damage a bit. When the enemy team uses a big ultimate like Lycan ult, just back off. Now it's on cooldown for a minute, and this next push should be the Rex.
Yeah.
Well, I think so. He dropped a Remnant mid. He's going to push out top lane this Ember, and then he'll come right back. Once Q and Sane are down 2 lane of Rex, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Lycan doesn't have Boots of Travel. Only the Lycan can really push quickly, and he's not going to outpush this entire Next.kz team. Especially since they have Ember, they can just do what they did before. He can just Remnant in the lane where his team's pushing, TP out, go clear the wave, and then go back. So he's a very good hero in kind of these split push scenarios, similar to a Morphling with Replicate to some extent, or any hero that's got like a Keeper of the Light on his team. So it makes it really hard to win a base race against a farmed Ember.
Yes.
And I'm saying base race, there's still 3 tier 2s up. Like, as though it mattered, but even if it was closer.
Yeah, very mobile hero indeed. Other items that have been picked up here, let's see. Actually, not too much following that successful siege. It looks like Centaur is working towards a halberd. If I'm not mistaken, he has the Sange on the courier right now.
You are not mistaken, my friend.
There you go. And there is also an ultimate orb coming out for Mantis on this jar. That's interesting. Is he going to be getting a Lincoln's here? A Scotty?
Either item's okay. You generally just want
to Manta.
You generally want to stack HP against Ancient Apparition because of how the ult works, but he does have BKB already, so I don't know. Lincoln's would be good. There's a decent amount of single target control, but at this point it's all luxury items. He could even buy like well, pretty much anything. Maybe not a Mask of Madness, but pretty much anything else.
Yeah. Invisibility rune up on the gyrocopter, and they will press forward. What a fuck it, just clearing up that creep wave, doing some harassment as well. And just...
You can see how annoying it is to break the base against Ancient Apparition, though. They are up 20,000 gold, 20,000 experience, better teamfight lineup, better late game lineup, huge teamfight items and initiation, and they still have to slow roll it because of that freaking ult.
Yep, there you go. Mass Serpent wards have come back up, drops them right on top of the tower. Pipe comes out onto the creep wave as well, and the pipe actually used a little bit early, will pop off, or expire rather, before too many spells come out, but that'll be a free tier 2 tower. Not a lot of defense coming its way. Puck will blink forward, and Illusory Orb out, still takes a little bit of damage from the Sleight of Fist.
What is their plan here? Like, they're giving up 2 lanes of Rex, not even defending. They had a glyph for the tower, didn't use it. Either GG out or try and fight. What's the plan?
Your guess is as good as mine. I'm not really sure, to be perfectly honest. They're
just sitting here
watching their barracks fall. Yeah, Dream Coil comes out, BKB on from the gyro. Call down as well. Looks like now we'll see the fight break out. Big Numb in the front lines. His BKB is on as well, but too much damage coming his way. He will be able to run back to the well, but that's about it. Fiend's Grip comes out on the Centaur. He'll survive as well. And this is a disaster for Insane. Maybe they'll get a couple of cleanup kills here, but the damage is
Epicenter.
Gyrocopter, he will fall. Epicenter doing a lot of damage as well. Finishes off the Ancient Apparition. On phase shift and survives for now. Double Edge picking up some kills. Also Mist Assassin as well as the Lycan have fallen. Down goes the Bane, and that's your GG. Well played. Next.kz will take a victory, 24-17, as they continue to fight outside of the well. That was a really odd final exchange with you and saying they had a glyph available that whole time. They never used it.
It's like they'd already given up, but then they decided to have the last fight.
Yeah.
It was just odd.
I mean, at least just burn the glyph, initiate. That just seems...
Fight while your tower's up. That seems that's the better way to do it. But the game was pretty much lost a while ago.